Today we're going to look at Chevy's Raptor. I'll include a link to the Jerry Center Chevy in Salt Lake's website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. Under the hood is a 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 14 around town, 17 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Blacked out trim piece on the hood with the 6.2L badge. Sharp looking daytime running lights. We've got the blacked out grille, blacked out Chevy bow tie, and the ZR2 badge is even blacked out. Fog lights at the bottom, but then stuff like the recovery points are blacked out. Interesting that that front piece is not though. Overall, this looks a bit meaner compared to a regular Silverado. Tire and wheel setup is 275 by 70 by 18. The wheels are completely blacked out with pretty aggressive all-terrain tires. Just like a Trail Boss, this has a 2-inch suspension lift from the factory. Got the little fender flare they add to this, ZR2 badge on the side, and then they black out the mirror caps and the door handles. This has leaf springs in the back, and then you can't really see it too well, but multimatic shocks. Tight parking lot, but here's a side-ish view of the truck. When it comes to key fob features, we got the Chevy bow tie there on the back. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. LED lights in the bed. You got a grab handle to help out with getting in. We have an outlet there on the other side. You probably noticed protection from the factory. And then yes, this has the tailgate step system. Putting this back in place is easy. Just pop that in and then just lift up the rest, kind of like a fluid motion. Sharp looking taillight design. Got another ZR2 badge, and then this has the bumper steps as well as a blacked out rear bumper. That will cap things off for the exterior of this truck. Just kidding. They tuck the exhaust tips up here so that the departure angle is better. Now actually popping inside, neon stitching, and you've got the gray trim. It's supposed to be easier to clean. That continues onto the seats, and this does have some storage there. And the seat itself perforated down the center. Legroom in the back is good. We have a storage pocket. We've got some cup holders, heated seats, USB ports, and some vents. And then headroom back here is great. Keyless entry for up front. Let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirror. We've got our memory seat function built into this. The mirrors do power fold in. Front two windows are automatic. And then you got more of that gray trim on the front door panel. 1428 is the payload. Towing is 8,800 pounds. You've got that same gray trim here on the front seat. It is power adjustable with lumbar support. The passenger seat's also power adjustable with lumbar support. To the left of the steering wheel, we have the control for the heads-up display up top with those little switches. And then we've got an advanced four-wheel drive system with auto, low, high, drive modes with on-road and off-road use, tow haul mode, and then all of your light controls. Let's fire it up. Boom. Soft touch all around the steering wheel with paddle shifters there on the back. Practical controls for the center. There's also radio controls on the back. We've got our cruise control here on the other side. Heated steering wheel button too. Digital cluster in the center, which you can change what's displayed there in the center screen. And then it also let you know what drive mode you're in, and then what's happening with the drive line. And if that wasn't enough, heads-up display. 360 camera system. I don't think this one has the underbody cams. It has a bed cam, which is nice. But still, I mean, it shows a bunch of different angles. As for the rest of the infotainment system, install time, 15 minutes. We're not doing that. Anyways, it is pretty quick to respond. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then you got the shortcut bar there on the side. Lots of physical controls for important functions, I think. So lane departure, parking sensors, auto stop start, and then you have your tailgate drop down, hill descent, and then yes, this has diff locks front and rear. Below that, we have trailer brake controls, and then we've got heated ventilated seats, dual zone climate, USB ports too. Got our shifter for the 10-speed. Phone charging pad, outlet, some USB ports in the center console with the tray up top. Nice trim on the top that matches what you see on the glove box, and then across the dash too. This has a camera rear view mirror, and then the rear glass does open with a power function. 77,269. Let's see how the ZR2 performs. Let us set off in the Silverado ZR2 with the 6.2 V8. And you actually can technically get 35s on these now with the AEV package, but man, Chevy should have just had more fitment in the wheel wells, because you can fit 34s on these, you just can't fit 35s from my understanding. But yeah, a little bit more fitment in the wheel wells I think would have been nice. And then the bigger thing is Chevy should have just offered at least a 34-inch tall tire from the factory, not offering anything but this dinky little 33. It's just annoying because like the AEV package is really cool, but it's also over $90,000. This is already expensive at almost $80,000. So Chevy, come on, come on. It's not just Chevy, it's also Toyota. Toyota puts dinky tires on their vehicles too. These at least have some tread on them. The Toyotas don't even have tread on them. It's crazy. You get a brand new vehicle and they have half tread because they want good initial ride quality. A bunch of dorks. Now, speaking of good initial ride quality, the Multimatic shocks do make a difference with this. This does ride a bit smoother compared to a regular Silverado. Now, is it enough to be worth it for on-road driving? I don't think so. I think it's definitely worth it if you're going to do a lot of off-roading, like I do. But on-road, it makes a bit of a difference, but it's not big enough for where I'm like, yeah, you should spend $10,000 more than a Trail Boss, basically. And I mean, if you look at that, my favorite package of the Silverados is that Trail Boss Custom with the diesel. That thing's in the 50s. This thing is so much more money, and it's like, yeah, you got fancier interior and 360 camera and all this other stuff, but man, does that really add up to 20 grand? Does it really? But I do like this interior. It's got a nice, durable feel to it. Man, I'm starting to actually see some of the new Rams out in the wild. I was a little bit worried that Ram wasn't selling trucks anymore, but it looks like they actually are finally. The 6.2 is a monster. It's got a ton of torque, ton of horsepower. Quite impressive. Now, being a leaf sprung truck, the back end still is going to kind of bounce around a little bit. That's one thing that the RHO and the Raptor have over this. And I'm sure a bunch of people are going to say, this doesn't compete against the Raptor. Phooey, look at the price tag. Ram RHO starts at 70. Raptor starts at 80. This is right in between the two when it comes to pricing. So, yeah, no, it competes against them when it comes... Like, you can't tell me that people that are looking at this aren't at least cross-shopping, right? Because they are 100% cross-shopping. I would be, right? If GM's gonna want $80,000 basically for a 33-inch tall tire truck, I'm gonna see if anyone else is offering a little bit different setup, right? So I know it sounds like being critical of the ZR2. I think it's a great truck. It's cool that it's triple locked, right? Because that's one thing the RHO and the Raptor don't have. They have fancy braking systems that can kind of mimic a front locker, but it's not the same. So that part's nice. I like the interior. I like the looks. I actually like the narrow body too, right? That helps out with fitting down trails, but the price tag. And the ZR2 is not alone. If you get a loaded up Ram Rebel or if you get a loaded up Ford Tremor, it's the same thing. I think these manufacturers need to see that people that are looking at the off-road trucks are not going to see the value in stuff that is not basically a Raptor type truck where it's wide body and all that. And maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe people look at this and be like, oh yeah, I'd rather have that than the wide body truck, but I just don't think it's the case. I think that if this had way more payload, that'd be a different story, but it doesn't, right? We just looked at the payload. It's pretty close to a Raptor and an RHO. I think the thing that could sell it is if they had like crazy horsepower out of the 6.2. It's got good power, but it's still less than a Raptor and an RHO, so I don't know. I love the ZR2, but I also think that it made sense when it was a $70,000 truck. Now that it's loaded up and it's over 80, it's kind of a harder sell in my opinion, but still a very nice pickup truck. How many of your thoughts?